All right, so I haven't done any video on EurUsd for some time. I was still trading from my month-old top-down analysis, but it got to a point where I was a bit confusing the direction. I felt my bias had been changed, but so I thought, let me go back and reanalyze. Right, price can change direction anytime. So I went back, and this is what I came up with. I thought to share. So on the weekly, right? On the weekly, we have price printing. We have a change of direction here. We have this break of structure, right? Now we broke this structure. We're going down. We keep printing lower lows. So we're gonna stick with the whole weekly bearish idea. So we're bearish on the weekly, right? Now let's go to the daily. Now on the daily, we have some form of consolidation here. We swept buy side liquidity. We swept buy side liquidity. Broke this structure. Broke that structure. That actually sponsored the liquidity sweep to the buy side liquidity sweep, right? So now because we are reacting within this order block, we have here our high, our new high formed. We have here a low. We have lower high because this high didn't break that high. We have break of structure. We have a newly formed low, right? So this confirms that we are actually still bearish on the daily, right? Now, we'll leave this and then come here. We have some form of consolidation happening here, right? So on the daily, we're consolidating here. We don't know if price is looking to shoot up to form a new lower high, or perhaps it's formed its lower high here and is looking to continue its bearish run, right? So we need to come down here and then try to fade what is happening here into the high time frame. So on the high time frame, which is the daily, we have this as our trading range. This is our high, this is our low. Now this we're going to consider as a pullback until we break this high. We're still bearish, so this is only a pullback. This is what we're gonna focus on, right? Now, that being said, we go down to the what's it called, the 4 hour to see what is happening within this area, right? Now, even before we go down, we realize that we rushed, we rallied all the way up, came down, we kept breaking structure to the downside. Now, we went all the way back up, reacted within an order block here. And when we reacted, after we reacted, we started breaking structure to the downside again. So this will be our internal structure to this external structure here, right? So what is it that we're looking at? First of all, we're going to consider this to be our high, right? Our low. So we have our range. Now, if this is a pullback, right, and we're distributing downwards like this, then we're looking to target this area to break another structure and form a new low, right? But this is external. Now, with this internal structure, we broke this low, ran up, took out some buy side liquidity, came down, broke another structure, ran up, and looking to, if we're going to stay bearish with this internal flow, we're looking to break this structure here again, right? So this is one scenario, right? We're looking to break the structure, or we're looking to take this high, then we would have a change in direction to go up. You understand? So we need to identify what are we doing now. I look down into this distribution here, this price action here, and then I marked out this area, right? Now, if we break this low here, this is before yesterday. If we manage to break this low here, then we'll confirm this inducement here. So we have price inducing this high, right? Now, once price induced this high, I would then start to look for price action telling me we're going down, which is either a redistribution fading into the high time frame or a distribution, right? That's if we're going to continue down. So after this inducement, then I'm waiting for price to break a certain structure. Once we break that structure, then this inducement I'll then mark as my liquidity grab, my buy side liquidity grab. That means this will be confirmed 90% to be my new lower high, and then I can start to consider price or have this confirmed bias of price breaking down, distributing all the way down here to take this low, right? Now, I looked into this and then we had an accumulation forming. Now, if this accumulation is invalidated, then we know that we have a redistribution in the sense that every Wyckoff forming is either a distribution or an accumulation, right? Now, we have reaccumulations and redistributions. A reaccumulation forms from a distribution, a failed distribution, right? And then a redistribution forms from a failed accumulation. So we had this accumulation forming. If we fail this accumulation, then we would have a redistribution, right? So this redistribution will be per this high over here. Now, how do we invalidate this redistribution? This accumulation. This accumulation fails or is invalidated when this low is broken. So I think before I had my low here, expecting that if we broke this low, then we'll be confirmed bearish on this leg, which will be our 4-hour leg, right? So we come down to the 4-hour, we realize that we're expecting price. If this accumulation should hold, then we should respect this demand because this is the last area of any form of demand in this accumulation, right? I was expecting price to react from here, but we broke it. We've broken this one as well. So we'll see what price does here. If price does invalidate this low, this demand here, then we would have this happening right here. We'll have this becomes our distribution, this becomes our UT, this becomes our UTAT. So we'll have price breaking through this demand, then coming all the way somewhere up here or respecting this UTAT to only go further down. Right. So I have this area marked as my daily BOS. That means once we break this structure here, I'm bearish on the daily, I'm bearish on the 4-hour. So I'll then go down to the 1-hour to see if I'm going to get any setups to buy price on the retracements or to wait for price to actually give me a full retracement and then jump on major trend, the major market trend, which is the sales, right? So that is what we're gonna have for the coming week and maybe the whole of the rest of June. So as you can see, I made some notes here. We had bearish on the weekly, internally bearish on the daily, looking to form a new lower high, which is here, right? Now this is how lower highs are formed. We first need to sweep buy side liquidity, then we need to break certain structure to the downside. Now, my students know how I am able to determine this structural areas, right? So we broke this structure. After we broke this structure, I knew we were bearish on this leg. So our take profit or our final destination would be here, which we eventually came to. So we broke this low, and then I knew that this will become our liquidity sweep, our buy side liquidity sweep. So any buy momentum from here would only be a retracement to this leg, only to sell down, which happened very nicely, right? So similarly, we're having the same thing happening here. We have our area of inducement. Now we're looking to react from this supply, right, or this bearish OB. So I refined this OB all the way to the top bit, but I'm not looking for price to actually get in there before we look for sales, because we've already induced this area. I'm waiting for price. I was waiting for price to induce this low, sorry, to break this low, right? Then confirm to me that we're bearish. But we failed to break this low and actually respected the demand here, the order block here, went all the way up. Now, this then becomes my new structural point where if price breaks, then I'm confirmed that this is, we've finished grabbing all the buy side liquidity and we're ready to sell. So what happens here will determine where price will go for the rest of the coming weeks, through all the way through June and maybe July. All right, so I think that's it for okay. I think this last part, yeah, okay. That's it for EurUsd. So let's see what Monday prints for us, and then we'll see if we have any setups presenting themselves. Right, I'm looking for price to maybe break this low on Monday, and then see if we'll have any uh, retracement to trade off or continue to sell until we actually have a proper retracement to buy from. So I'm looking to maybe buy at some point this week, this coming week, only to sell, or continue selling till we get to a point where we're actually respecting demand to buy up for a retracement. All right, so I think that's it for me. Enjoy your weekend.